This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Mandatory evacuations. An out-of-control wildfire forces hundreds of Kings County residents out of their homes and cottages.
Permits rejected. These Dartmouth construction workers may have to return to the Philippines because of a mistake in their paperwork.
And pumped up. Cyclists go for a spin at a new bike jump park in Eastern Passage.
Much needed showers clearing out this evening. Back to high pressure and sunshine for the next few days. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. A mandatory evacuation area has expanded in Kings County because of the threat of the Lake George wildfire. More than 350 residences have now been evacuated.
The fire remains out of control and has now grown to an estimated 290 hectares. The CBC's Selena Alders has the latest.
Aylesford resident Eka Lehnar is trying to go about her daily routine as usual, but the looming threat of the nearby Lake George wildfire has made that harder.
You know, all summer long we've been hearing about wildfires, and so, you know, I've sort of had it in my mind, well, it could happen here. I hope not, but it could.
With her Jeep fully packed with essentials, Lehnar is ready to go should she receive an evacuation alert. More than 350 homes and cottages in the area have now been evacuated as the fire grows and dry conditions persist. The Waterville Fire Department is one of many involved in fighting this fire. Chief Wayne Johnstone says this year's wildfire season is the worst he's seen in his 49-year career.
If it continues, it's going to get worse. Like the global warming, the dry summers. We're going to see more of this.
A crew of 23 DNR and 20 local firefighters were helping fight the fire on Wednesday, along with air support from the Northwest Territories and Quebec. Here on Aylesford Lake, the water bombers you see behind me have been at work for days. They're scooping up water here and dropping it over the nearby Lake George wildfire that remains out of control. Lehnar says it's been incredible to watch the pilots do their work, and she's taking the whole situation one day at a time.
It's really something we don't have any control over at all. You know, you just have to go with the punches and do the best you can and be supportive of each other, which I find here we do have a supportive community. A lady just called me not too long ago to say, "Oh, you're still here?" And and I'm still here.
A comfort center has been set up at the Louis Millette Community Center in New Minas, where all evacuees are being asked to check in. Meanwhile, crews in the air and on the ground continue their efforts to get the blaze under control. Selena Alders, CBC News, Kings County.
And because of continued fire activity, the province has extended wildfire season until October 31st. The full burn ban will also remain in effect in Annapolis County, and daily burn restrictions will continue to apply in all other counties to the end of the month. The fine for violations is $25,000. Wildfire season normally runs until October 15th. It was also extended in 2016 because of drought conditions.
And of course, firefighters will be looking to the weather for some help in battling this forest fire.
Yes, and some help today.
Yeah, a few showers in the area in Lake George and across the province. A few scattered showers, not enough, but that chance will continue through this evening. The winds also will be at least become a little more favorable for Thursday. As we look at the Wednesday evening time frame, you can see those winds ticking down overnight, and as we move into tomorrow, remaining fairly light. We're talking about winds around 10 kilometers per hour, some gusts upwards of 20 kilometers per hour into the afternoon, but not nearly as gusty as it was today. As we move overnight into early Friday, it does look like the winds will shift back to southwesterly on Friday, so the firefighters will have to wrap their heads around that with a big wind shift coming. Now, you can see those showers will come to an end through this evening. There's that area of high pressure reinforcing that northerly flow across the province on Thursday under sunshine. More sunshine for Friday. As I said, the wind shifting back to southwesterly, and it looks quiet through this weekend and into early next week. Your full 7 day is coming up, Tom and Amy.
All right, stay tuned for that. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
The Dartmouth Construction Company says it's desperate to find support for 3 of its employees from the Philippines who may be forced to leave Canada. The men have been here for 3 years, but when they tried to renew their work permits, they were rejected because of the company's mistake Carolyn Ray has the story.
It was their dream to be permanent residents of Canada. Now these 3 construction workers might have to move home to the Philippines after the Department of Immigration rejected the extension to their work permits.
When I read the letter, I almost fainted because it's refused.
They were rejected because of small errors by their employer, Brycon Construction, on their permits. Brycon forgot to pay a $230 fee on 2 of their applications and forgot to submit a document on another. Instead of being given a chance to fix the mistake, immigration told the men to leave the country or apply for their permits from scratch. It means for 6 months they aren't allowed to work. They can't afford food and rent, let alone send money to their families who were hoping to join them here soon.
Seeing them struggling, it's double the hardship I'm experiencing now.
It's like torment, it's mental stress, anxiety, sleepless nights, thinking about the situation, about my kids' future, about my family's future.
I thought, oh my God, like, is this really happening?
Their boss, Dave Hiscock, is desperate to fix the problem. He's called the immigration department and politicians, but no one will expedite the process.
We're dealing with people's lives here and their livelihoods. These people have done nothing wrong while they've been in Canada. They pay their taxes. They're good working staff.
This immigration lawyer says this story is becoming common. The federal department no longer lets people correct mistakes.
But when it doesn't work, it goes really, really badly, really fast, and the consequences are huge. So, I mean, it's a tough situation. It's a serious process.
The Department of Immigration says the onus is on the applicants to get it right. While they wait for their new permits to be processed, they're stuck, separated from family and unable to work, wondering if they'll be able to afford to wait it out or give up on their Canadian dreams. Carolyn Ray, CBC News, Eastern Passage.
Opposition is mounting to a federal pilot project that aims to buy prohibited firearms from gun owners. The pilot launched in Cape Breton this week before the program rolls out to the rest of the country later this year. But opponents have organized a rally in Sydney, hoping the government will reconsider. Kyle Moore reports.
It's in this location outside of Cape Breton Regional Police Headquarters that people plan to gather on Thursday. A rally against a federal pilot project that aims to buy prohibited firearms from gun owners.
We have people telling us they're flying in from Newfoundland, New Brunswick, people driving from New Brunswick. Obviously, a lot of people come from the Halifax area, so we're expecting a pretty big turnout, and people obviously from across Cape Breton, because it is a Cape Breton issue because they decided to start here.
The pushback comes a week after the federal public safety minister announced the gun buyback program. Since 2020, the Liberal government has banned about 2,500 types of semi-automatic firearms with military design and large-capacity magazines. Anna Manley, a Sydney lawyer, said some guns on the list should not be prohibited.
I don't think that you can just call something assault style, convince the public that it's scary, and then not expect any pushback. There are 22s on that list. That is a small entry-level rifle. It is absolutely ridiculous that they're calling that assault style.
Police Chief Robert Walsh says several people have already contacted the portal looking to turn guns in, but said police headquarters will be closed on Thursday for the rally.
We did this because we anticipate there could be a large number of people here, and we didn't want to cause any disruption to people that may be coming for those services.
Public Safety Canada says there are about 200 banned guns in Sydney, North Sydney and Glace Bay, and the government expects to buy them back.
Some people have already returned their guns, by the way, without compensation, for example, to police because they didn't want to have a prohibited gun at home.
But some say the program will cost too much money and will not reduce gun crime. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Sydney.
The chief of Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency announced his retirement today following calls last month for him to resign. The municipality says Ken Stubing will retire as of December 1st. Stubing's retirement comes after the Halifax Professional Firefighters Association raised concerns around training and staffing issues in recent months. The union says managers have also shown a pattern of retaliation against vocal union members and multiple incidents of racist, misogynistic, and homophobic behavior from managers went unaddressed. The city's Commissioner of Public Safety was asked to review the union's concerns.
The provincial government committed today to introducing new legislation that will govern how the fire service is delivered in the province. This comes after this year's audit of the Nova Scotia Firefighter School. It also follows a list of 40 recommendations released Monday from the Fire Services Association of Nova Scotia. Those cover a range of issues from better training, governance, even fire safety training in school curriculum. It also recommends the creation of a provincial fire commissioner who would report to the Provincial Department of Emergency Management.
This would be number 9 fire review in the last 50 years, and none of the previous 8 were acted upon. So we felt we needed to make a stronger statement than just press release saying we received the report.
The province says it hopes to enact legislation sometime in 2026.
The province has reduced the payments and eligibility for the Heating Assistance Rebate Program. The one-time payment will be $400 this year, down from $600 the year before. The threshold for families to qualify based on net income is also decreasing from last year's $55,000 to $45,000. The minister responsible says the change reflects the introduction of other initiatives by the government to help save people money, including a cut to the HST, the removal of Halifax bridge tolls, and other grants.
$400 is going to make a difference for the Nova Scotians who are eligible to be able to receive it. But I think it's important that across government we continue to look at other affordability measures and the ones that we've introduced as a government that we should be very proud of.
The opposition leaders say cost of living pressures on people have not gone down enough to justify the changes the government is making.
If you come to rely on a benefit from the government in order to keep the heat on, and that benefit is drastically cut or disappears, that is a time of huge uncertainty and precariousness for families across this province.
The fact of the matter is that the government lost control of their budget, and now they're in a situation where they have to try to bring that budget. They have to try to rein that in. And unfortunately, what we learned on Friday afternoon is that this heating assistance program is one of those programs that they're reining back in.
The government will spend $32 million on the program this year. Last year, it spent $71 million.
The province's minimum wage increased today, the second increase this year. Minimum wage in the province is now $16.50 an hour. That's up from the last increase of $15.70 an hour back in April. Minimum wage also went up in Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Prince Edward Island. The provinces have tied their increases to Canada's steadily growing consumer price index, which is an indicator of inflation.
A new bike jump park in Eastern Passage had its grand opening on Monday.
More than 200 people lined up for a crack at the new tracks, some designed for beginners and others for more seasoned riders. Juliana Grillo was there to check it out.
Rocks, ramps, and curves, all part of an elaborate track that allows for jumps, tricks, and fun at the new bike park. Kids big and small lined up, waiting for their turn to feel the adrenaline and wind on their faces. And for the people who built it, they're happy to see it full of eager kids.
We've just been here working on it for so long, but it's extremely rewarding to see all these kids having so much fun, and they're going to do it for years and years to come.
Barry and his lifelong friend Devin White have spent the past 4 months building this park. They've been freestyle riding since they were teens, eventually inspiring White to start his own company, building bike trails and parks. White and Barry wanted to give these kids the kind of space they could only dream of having growing up.
I mean, it's pretty good. Mount Edward was really good, but it was also kind of small compared to this.
I mean, yeah, it's awesome. I've only hit like the small ones in the neighborhoods. These are way better.
The park has something for people of every skill level. These advanced routes are perfect for practicing jumps and landings. But there's also space for beginners. 3-year-old Owen rode his bike next to his dad, while his mom watched from the side.
He loves biking. I think his dad and all his friends kind of influenced that. But he loves it. He's happy to be here and check it out. He kind of jumped right in right away, so I was pretty proud of him for that.
Juliana Grillo, CBC News, Eastern Passage.
A view from Point Pleasant Park. Ryan will be up next with a full weather forecast.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
Well, we haven't seen it very much of late, that's for sure, but wet pavement in Halifax today.
Yeah,
Quite
it was
a sight.
kind of a strange sight,
Yeah,
wasn't
sure
it?
was.
But not much more to come, right?
No, we're drying out again, and so definitely not enough today, just showers, but beneficial, a nice sight, and this is also a nice sight. Spotted moments ago.
Oh, rainbow,
Yeah,
lovely.
beautiful. Where's that?
This is Parsboro Wharf.
Ah.
And yes, beautiful evening there as the little showers move out, and we do have a little bit of a rainbow there, thanks to Nova Scotia webcams for this live look just moments ago. And as we look at the temperatures out there right now, single digits, Amherst, Truro, Halifax Airport, where we've been seeing these showers, and Ganesh also with some single digits. Trying to remember the last time we had single digits on the board at 6 p.m. It's been a while. Current temperatures, or current winds rather, and this has been a story today as well, with sustained winds from the north, 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. And we've been seeing some gusts in the 40, even 50 kilometer per hour range in Lunenburg, so it has been breezy today. Let's look at the radar and show you where these showers have been most prevalent today. If you were trying to track them today, you're with me in shaking your fist. The radar was down for much of the day at the Gore radar. How about this? A little lightning strike there with that little cluster that's moving offshore. How about that? And as we look at we'll zoom in a little bit closer and show you where these showers are still coming through. Colchester, Cumberland, Pictou County rolling down towards Halifax East and into Hants County. And these are all kind of sailing down towards the metro area. So we'll continue to see these showers on tap for the next couple of hours, but it is high pressure moving in and clearing things out. There's Humberto and Imelda. Those two storms are going to continue to track to the northeast, and so this area of high pressure kind of acting as a bit of a shield for us. Overnight lows tonight will range between 6 and 8 degrees. The winds are going to become light tonight, and so we'll see low-lying areas dipping towards 3 or 4 degrees and a very slight risk of some patchy frost, especially up towards Colchester and Cumberland areas for tonight. You can see this model throwing a very isolated risk for a shower over the eastern mainland for tomorrow morning. Less than 30% on that, I would call it. And as we move into the Thursday afternoon time period, lots of sunshine continuing, and it is going to be a chillier night for Thursday night into Friday morning. Temperatures 12 to 15 degrees for most of Cape Breton tomorrow. Downsloping wind, Victoria County, so places like Ingonish will get up to around 16 tomorrow, 14 to 15 degrees for eastern parts of the mainland. Back into central, temperatures here, 14, 15 degrees. We'll get up to around 16 for places like the metro area. And in the west, temperatures will be 12 to 13 degrees. Annapolis Royal back through Digby, but we should see widespread temps in the 15 to 16 range. And as I mentioned, the later winds for tomorrow will be a more favorable setup for firefighters battling that fire at Lake George, but the wind shifting back to southwest on Friday as this area of high pressure moves off. That'll allow the southwest wind to move in. That'll allow our temperatures to warm up. We're going to be ranging between about 17 to 19 degrees on Friday with lots of sunshine. This is actually a little bit above where we should be for this time of year, which is in and around the 16 degree range. High pressure moving off. There are the remnants of our tropical systems. And so as we move into the weekend, Saturday looks solid, a mix of sun and cloud. This warm front will extend in on Saturday night into Sunday. With that, a very isolated risk of a shower, but it's looking like that greater chance is actually going to be for New Brunswick. Back to a mainly cloudy sky on Sunday with a very spotty shower chance. Best chances are going to be in the east towards Cape Breton. On the other side of that warm front, temperatures bumping up Monday into Tuesday of next week. We're going to be back into the low 20s. Hard to believe as we push our way through that first week of October. Yeah, the first couple days cool, but then rebounding. Now, it does look like the bubble will burst on this Wednesday into Thursday, Tom, and Amy. Big temperature reset in the cards as of right now anyway for late next week.
Yeah, it has to
eventually.
Happen,
for sure.
Thanks,
okay.
Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, a new park trail in Stratford, PEI, is pairing folklore with sustainable works by local artists.
Our CBC colleagues took a tour through the town's Fairy Trail. Have a look.
Our Arts and Culture Subcommittee last year was really trying to figure out where are there spaces where we could potentially do public art. And this trail came up, and so I brought the idea to attention of one of our artists, but this artist, Kate Sharpley, was also on our Arts and Culture Committee, and I brought up the idea of a fairy trail, and she got a little twinkle in her eyes, and that got really exciting, and then we started talking about the actual potential of doing a fairy trail in our community.
So this is dried willow. It's mainly dried, but there are 2 live shoots just down at the bottom. And it's totally woven with dried willow, so there's no other material. So it should last probably, I would say, 7 to 10 years before it starts degrading, and then it'll just go back to the ground. There's another part of the trail that has a living arch, so that's woven with live willow and dried willow. And that will change over the years, so it'll organically change with the seasons, so you'll get blooms and foliage, and then in the winter then it dies back again.
We do not touch live trees. So if there's installations, those trees that artists have already found them lying on someone else's property, and install them, or we just work with stumps that are dead.
I like to take trees that are kind of on their last legs, so to speak. They're kind of dying and giving them a second life. Kind of my style has been this spiral staircase going along the way up. I don't know why. I probably saw a picture at one time of another carver who did it, and I was inspired, so that's kind of what I did. And then as well, I did a bench. I carved a bench out of some downed birch wood, and that was also hurricane wood that I've been holding on to for a while and turned it into a bench, and that's with an owl carved onto it.
We are always looking for artists, so if there's an artist listening to this saying, I have an idea, I wouldn't hesitate to reach out. We're open to ideas, and we would love to hear from artists. And this is just the beginning. So every year we're going to have layers and layers, and so when you're coming back, we want to thrill you with some new artwork.
Coming up, as the wildfire rages in Kings County, officials are urging residents to be prepared to leave home at a moment's notice. More than 350 homes and cottages have now been evacuated in the Lake George area of Kings County as a wildfire continues to burn out of control. Officials are urging those in the area to have a go bag with their documents and medication ready should some more people be told to leave their homes. Dave Corkum is the mayor for the municipality of the County of Kings. Sir, how are people doing in that affected area?
Well, Tom, it's very stressful for especially those people that are being evacuated or the ones that are near the site where they may have to be evacuated because, as you can well aware, leaving their homes and wondering what they're going to maybe come back to is certainly a tough go.
Yeah, and we had certainly hoped that we were behind this for this season in Nova Scotia for sure. I'm sure people there were as well. You've been in touch with the Department of Natural Resources. What are they telling you?
Yes, they're giving us the lead, and they're telling us that the fire is out of control and it's around 290 hectares in size right now, which is double what it was basically last night. It was around 150, and they were holding it then. But thankfully, with all the people from Natural Resources and our first responders are out there battling it as much as they can, and God bless them. They're doing all they can to hold this thing back.
And so those people who have had to leave their homes, where are they going?
We're highly recommending that they go to our comfort center at the Louis Millet Center in Numinus, Tom. And if they're not staying there, if they're staying with relatives or friends or something, to at least register so we can keep track of them and where they're at. That's where we're asking them to go to the Louis Millet Center in Numinus and make sure that they're registered. And so far, it's about 60 have gone in there, and we certainly appreciate the group of volunteers like the Red Cross and the Rotary that are there greeting people and trying to make them feel as comfortable as they can under some very difficult circumstances.
All right, and what is the makeup of some of these properties that are in jeopardy? I mean, how many of these evacuated structures are primary residences, say, versus cottages, roughly speaking?
Well, at one time, if it was 20 years ago, it would be mostly cottages. But today, there's a lot of people live year-round in these homes on and around the lakes, for that matter. And so it's and a lot of anywhere from smaller, lower-priced homes to some beautiful homes along the lake. So it's a situation that up to this point in time, thankfully, we have reports that there has not been any structures destroyed. But we're just keeping our fingers crossed with the wind and the dryness that continues to be. And that is owed a lot thanks to the first responders that are out there battling this blaze.
There's certainly been some sleepless nights for people, no doubt. Should the burn ban and the restrictions around entering the woods have been lifted as early as they were? Are people there upset about that decision?
Well, I'm not so sure. I mean, it's at the end of the day, there's so many different ways that a fire can start, whether it's lightning or whether it's a individual or a cigarette butt. But I will say this, Tom, that it's still very dry, and so I'm glad to see that the burn ban is put back on. And until we get some rain, it wouldn't hurt that if people weren't allowed to go into the woods. But it's a situation that I know that the province and DNR are doing whatever they can.
And there will be further investigation into the cause of the fire for sure. Do you think that there is enough help to battle this fire?
Well, I know they have a lot of water bombers and local firemen and DNR people and search and rescue. So I think that we're getting fantastic support, and I would also mention the volunteers in New Minas too. The residents and businesses are bringing in things for people, food and that type of thing. And I was talking to one gentleman, Tom, Mr. McNeil, came all the way down from Sydney, Cape Breton to lend a hand with the Red Cross at the Comfort Center.
Yeah, I'm sure that is appreciated for sure. Only a few seconds to go here, sir, but what do the next few days look like for your community, do you think?
Well, pray for rain and no winds, and it is very concerning when you hear it's still out of control. So I guess we're just keeping our fingers crossed and hoping the wonderful people, the first responders, can keep at this thing till we can get it back under control before it gets any further along, because it is starting to get close to some structures, and we don't want to see anybody lose their home.
I think a lot of people would agree with that. Dave Corkum, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Coming up, dozens of people have been killed and many more injured after a powerful earthquake off the coast of the Philippines.
And the U.S. government shuts down for the first time in 6 years as President Donald Trump threatens mass layoffs. Welcome back. At least 69 people have been killed in the central Philippines after an earthquake struck Tuesday night.
Hundreds of others are injured, and a desperate search and rescue effort is underway for survivors. Caroline Bargut has the latest.
At this night market in Cebu province, the moment a 6.9 magnitude earthquake hit was captured on camera. So was the panic. Dozens are injured and dead, and the death toll is expected to rise. The quake is the deadliest to hit the Philippines since 2013, when a 7.2 magnitude quake struck, killing 222 people. As the body bags pile up, loved ones gather to say goodbye. In Bogo, a coastal city of about 90,000 people close to the epicenter of the quake, rescuers are on the ground searching for survivors. We're racing against time, this senior fire official says. We are talking about life here. As responders, as rescuers, we are hoping that we can bring them out alive.
Lord, please send some help, Lord.
At this shopping mall, the devastation is all around as patrons took cover. This woman survived the quake. Up to now, my body is shaking because of fear, she says. I'm getting emotional because of fear. I get restless whenever there are aftershocks. A local reporter says there have been some 900 aftershocks, with many residents too afraid to go home.
The victims, the survivors, they rather sleep outside, on the road, in the field, and what's even worse is that the weather here is not cooperative at all. We've been, aside from the earthquake, we've been experiencing intense rains. I mean, it's just a double whammy for the victims right now.
Here in Canada, where more than 1 million Filipinos live, there is concern those injured by the quake may not get help fast enough.
It's really disheartening to think about the possibility that it could be slow, because there's so many things, going on in the country, particularly in this region.
She says electricity is down, so it's hard to even reach people. And the total number of those missing is still unknown. Caroline Bargut, CBC News, Vancouver.
The U.S. government has been shut down after Congress, which is under Republican control, failed to reach an agreement on funding. It means hundreds of thousands of American federal workers are off the job, and many federal programs and services have been shut down as Republicans and Democrats wage a war of words on who's to blame. Chris Reyes reports.
Some 750,000 U.S. government jobs hang in the balance as Republicans and Democrats battle over a funding bill that keeps the U.S. federal government running. Many non-essential workers face getting sent home without pay, and that includes employees at the Security and Exchange Commission, the Federal Aviation Administration. Those at the IRS and health agencies like the CDC are also affected. Both parties, no surprise, are not just blaming each other, they're naming this shutdown after their opponents.
Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the House. Democrats are here working on behalf of the American people. We're fighting to lower costs, cancel the cuts, and to save health care. And where are House Republicans? They are on vacation.
And then this post from the White House, its claim is that the far left wing of the Democratic Party wouldn't budge on, quote, free health care for illegals and woke nonsense. Further hammering the Trump administration's messaging, Vice President J.D. Vance addressed the media during a White House briefing today. Despite the false claim that the Democrats are providing health care to illegal immigrants, he insisted that the Biden-era health care subsidies were being used for that purpose.
If you're an American citizen, you've been to a hospital in the last few years, you probably noticed that wait times are especially large, and very often somebody who's there in the emergency room waiting is an illegal alien, very often a person who can't even speak English. Why do those people get health care benefits at hospitals paid for by American citizens? The answer is a decision made by the Biden administration that the Trump administration, working with congressional Republicans, undid.
Democrats argue that they're pushing to extend health care subsidies for Americans, subsidies that are expiring at the end of the year because of Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill, which narrowed Medicaid eligibility and made clear that undocumented immigrants are not allowed to receive coverage.
The Republican health care crisis is devastating, the likes of which no one has ever seen. Largest cut to Medicaid in American history. A possible $536 billion cut to Medicare because of the one big ugly bill.
The last government shutdown was under Trump's first administration, and that lasted 35 days. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
The city of Portland, Oregon, is the latest political battleground over Donald Trump's effort to deploy the National Guard against U.S. citizens. On Tuesday, he told his top generals that their troops are needed to fight what he called, quote, the enemy within, an apparent reference to Americans protesting against ICE. Julia Wong reports.
It is quiet and calm outside this Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility in South Portland. There is no visible or active signs of protest, but there are groups here that are working with folks who are going inside this building. Now, this ICE facility in the city is why U.S. President Donald Trump is deploying the National Guard to Portland. Protesters have generally been here for months, and a couple dozen arrests have been made. These protests have, for the most part, been peaceful, but tensions have been high at times. Last night, there was a confrontation between some protesters and federal agents, and several arrests were made. Trump is pointing to Portland and saying that it is a war-ravaged city, likening it to a war zone. And he says that he's deploying troops here to protect ICE facilities and their workers from what he calls domestic terrorists.
How about Portland? Portland, Oregon, where it looks like a war zone. And I get a call from the Liberal governor, sir, please don't come in. We don't need you. I said, well, unless they're playing false tapes, this looked like World War II. Your place is burning down.
200 National Guard troops will soon be on the ground, but there's no exact timeline on when they will be arriving in the city. The National Guard itself also says its specific roles and responsibilities are unclear.
We understand that we'll be doing some federal facility protection, some federal employee protection activities, but that's about all we know at this time.
The state of Oregon and the city of Portland are pushing back on the Trump administration, saying that this deployment isn't needed. They are suing the administration over the deployment of these troops. And a hearing for a temporary restraining order on this deployment is scheduled for Friday. Julia Wong, CBC News, Portland.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is facing questions about U.S. tariff pressures and pipelines as he continues to work on greenlighting major infrastructure projects. In a key part of the Carney government's plan is to bolster the economy. And while ministers are discussing how to support Canadian businesses, there's still no deal. Kate McKenna reports.
On tariffs, Canada is once again playing defense.
We have been very clear from the beginning that supply management is not a subject of negotiation with the Americans.
The U.S.-Canada Trade Minister reassured farmers that no major concessions will be made to Canada's dairy quota system, known as supply management, following a report in the Globe and Mail.
Parliament passed a law that we supported happily to make it clear that supply management is not a subject of negotiations in international trade agreements.
U.S. tariffs are piling up. In addition to levies on steel, aluminum, and the auto sector, President Donald Trump announced new tariffs on lumber, cabinets, and furniture.
Our softwood lumber industry is under direct attack. It's easier and cheaper for the Russians to access the U.S. market than it is for Canadians. It's completely absurd.
I just wanted to say we take good note of the new tariffs that were imposed on Canada. Obviously, we disagree with them. But I just wanted to say to all the workers and all the companies that are affected, we will be there to support you.
Opposition leaders questioned Canada's response to the ongoing trade war.
Mr. Carney, who has been elected, saying, I'm the new hero. I'll come from the sky with a cape. I will start negotiation 1 week before the election. I will fix the tariffs, and I will start a negotiation for a new trade agreement. 6 months later, we have seen nothing of it.
While Mark Carney breaks his promise, puts his elbows down, and gets trampled on by foreign leaders, our workers lose their jobs.
But the U.S. administration hasn't budged on its pro-tariff agenda, despite protests from Canada and around the world, leaving countries scrambling to adapt to an ever-changing landscape. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
Wildlife advocate and primate expert Jane Goodall has died at the age of 91. She was renowned worldwide for her groundbreaking research on chimpanzees, as well as for her activism for the environment and human rights. The CBC's Jill English looks at her life and legacy.
She was just 26 when she made her first groundbreaking discovery. Studying chimpanzees in the mountains of Tanzania in the 1960s, she watched the animals use sticks to fish for termites. It was a simple observation, but when she reported it back to her supervisor, it unraveled the definition of what it means to be human.
Man the toolmaker is how we were defined at that time. So when I told Lewis, he sent back that famous telegram saying, now we have to redefine man, redefine tool, or accept chimpanzees as human.
Chronicled by National Geographic, Goodall and her chimps became cultural icons. But the revered scientist was also an unlikely one. Born into working-class England in 1934, her only formal education before her chimp study was in bookkeeping. As a child, she dreamed of living among African wildlife, like her heroes Tarzan and Jane.
So no wonder people laughed at me, except my mother. And she would say, if you really want something and you really work hard and you take advantage of opportunity and you never give up, you'll find a way.
Jane spent the better part of 26 years in the forest, founding the Jane Goodall Institute, which still operates today. This life of research would have been enough to lock in a legacy. But in the mid-1980s, Goodall's mission changed. Deforestation was decimating habitats around the world.
I'd been able to live out my dream all those years. I'd been with these amazing beings in the beautiful forest, and it was all disappearing. I now had a responsibility to start paying back.
She went from scientist to activist.
Till everybody understands the problem, we can't really hope for change.
Goodall spent most of her time on the road, spreading her observations and her cause.
It's all intertwined, and there are no simple solutions.
In her outreach, Goodall supported communities near her research center and encouraged young people to tackle social and environmental challenges close to home.
I want to give the tree energy, and I want energy from the tree. A lot of people understand and they care, but they feel helpless because they don't know what to do. And so, the hope is to galvanize them.
But under her empathy, ironclad resolve.
People say, oh, we've borrowed the future from our children. When you borrow, you're supposed to pay back.
She advanced science her way, and through it, our grasp of humanity, giving us the tools to share in her hope. Jill English, CBC News, Toronto.
Canada's main stock index continued to reach new highs Wednesday, helped by basic materials sector, while the U.S. markets also pushed further into record territory. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
All right, Ryan back with us now, ready to take us somewhere around the province tonight.
Spin the wheel. Where will we land?
Well, South Mountain. This is near Harmony, just outside of Greenwood. And this picture, actually, the first picture I'm going to show you was taken last fall. And so have a look at this. This is McMaster Mill Falls, also known as Rockville Notch Falls. And again, on South Mountain. So this was taken last early last October. You can see the water flowing over the falls. I think you know where this is going.
Yes.
And as we look at this.
Oh, wow. What a difference. Holy cow.
Yeah. And Julie sent a couple of pics. One of them, well, you can see where she took the photo. She's standing right in the middle of what should be the river and the falls. So, yeah, thanks to Julie for sharing this. It's funny, not funny, but interesting that there was actually 2 or 3 people over the last couple of days all sending pictures of low water levels in rivers and lakes, and everybody kind of seeing the same thing. And as we, again, turn the page into October, we hope for a pattern change, but not coming anytime soon as we look at this area of high pressure moving in, keeping things very, very quiet here over the next few days. We will see temperatures still very October-like for Thursday, early October-ish. 14, 15, 16 degrees. Will warm up a little bit for Friday, 17, 18 degrees. A couple of 19s maybe on the board. And then back into the low 20s for Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud. Looking quite sluggish in terms of the clouds on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, really summerish. I think the bubble bursts mid next week.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. An update to a story we brought you recently. We now have a winner of Fat Bear Week. Yeah, you can go ahead and call this overstuffed bear a champion chunk. He won't mind. It's actually his name and his new title. 32 Chunk, as he's known, has been voted the winner.
Every year, a U.S. national park in Alaska asks the internet to pick its favorite bear who's put on the most weight for winter. Chunk tipped the scales with more than 96,000 votes, and he packed on all those kilos with a broken jaw.
Wow, 32 Chunk was a runner-up in the last 2 Fat Bear Weeks. Now he's dethroned the reigning champion. Goes to show you what you can achieve with grit, determination, and just a whole lot of salmon.
You bet.
Yeah, he's a chunk, all right.
He was due. All right, that's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.